What's up, guys? This is Sim with Vengeance, and I'm back here with another MLB 16 The Show Baltimore Orioles franchise. And today, the Baltimore Orioles, who have been struggling to keep themselves above 500, they're 20-19, taking on the 19-18 Orioles. And if you guys are excited for today's video, make sure you guys drop a like. And if you're new to this channel, I'll hit that subscribe button, as it's been kind of back and forth all year long. You know, it's kind of expected early on when we're facing teams like Toronto and Kansas City and Minnesota, New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, all really good teams. You know, something that we kind of expected. But we hope we can get like a streak of games. We have a home stretch coming up of like a 9-game home stretch. I'm hoping we can break open and get ourselves, you know, established as a team that could contend for the wild card. You see right there, you're taking a look at some stats right there. Manny Machado has gone a little cold. His average is below 200, but Chris Davis has been picking up the slack. He's hitting well above 300. His patience at the plate has been admirable, working a lot of deep counts. And yeah, when he gets out, it's usually a strikeout. Not a big deal, especially when he's taking a lot of pitches. So yeah, his Ks may be up there, but he's taking a lot of pitches. He's been taking a lot of walks, and that's something that we really like out of Chris Davis. Something we really like out of him. He can take a lot of pitches. He has a lot of patience at the plate. He waits for his pitch. So something that, you know, is something that I really like out of our team. We take a lot of pitches, and we don't just sit there and on the first pitch and, well, I mean, if it looks really good, yeah, we're going to take the opportunity to hit it out of the park. But I mean, when you see a 300 300 batting average with a 400 on base, that's actually really good. So I'm actually, like, Chris Davis is just looking like he's an MVP candidate right now, even though he's not even close to winning an MVP, considering that everybody else around us, like Jose Bautista, Josh Donaldson, you know, all those guys are up there for MVP once again. Jose Altuve is up there for MVP, I think. Mike Trout, again, one of the best players in baseball. You know, he's going to win MVP. He is up there for MVP. I don't think Chris Davis is up there for MVP at all just yet. He has to hit a lot more home runs than that, than what he's gotten so far. But still, nonetheless, still a very good performance this year out of Chris Davis. Obviously, our best pitcher this year has been none other than Kevin Gausman. He has been lights out this year. I did not expect, you know, this Page. He's been also really good coming out of the bullpen. Hasn't given up an earned run yet after, you know, 15 innings coming out of the bullpen and only, you know, I think 5 appearances, or at least 5 to 9 appearances. I have to look that again. But he's still been coming really well out of the bullpen. Hasn't given up a run yet, and you know, hopefully he can continue that. I hope once he does give up that run, he'll eventually give up a run, guys. Let's face it. But I hope it doesn't really shake him up too much. You know, sometimes players get this confidence and they get a big head, and then once they get it, their ego, you know, their big ego deflated, they just lose all confidence in themselves. And sometimes with a young team like this, it can really hurt their confidence. So hopefully it doesn't hurt him too much. I think he'll be fine later on long term. We have been calling players up and down throughout the season. Hunter Harvey may be getting a start later on this year for the Orioles if he continues to do what he's been doing in the minors. He's been doing lights out in the minors. We hope he can make a start later on this year and possibly become a bottom part of the rotation, because, man, we could really use somebody like him. He's young, he's talented, and he could do some work for us. So you take a look at the standings right there. You see the you know, teams like the Mets are also contending in the National League. The Cubs are contending. The Cardinals, Giants are contending. But you take a look at ours. Obviously, the Blue Jays are way above 500. They're way better than us. But nonetheless, we're going to take on the Seattle Mariners today. Should be a really good game. Both teams are one game above 500. And, you know, 2019 versus 19 and 18. But we're at home. It should be a good one for us. You know, we've been performing really well at home. We got the different style uniforms on. I don't know if you guys like it, but I like wearing different uniforms to show off, like, you know, the past uniform experiences of these teams. And yeah, these are more road uniforms, but I really like the black and orange. It really mixes in well with the caps that we're going with today. You see Miguel Gonzalez he had a really rough start. He started off 0-2. His ERA was above 7, but he's kind of settled into a groove now in the past few starts. He's got it down to a 4.24. And you take a look at the Mariners starting lineup. Obviously, Nelson Cruz and Adam Lind, Robinson Cano are big-time hitters. Nori Aoki has been playing really well. Let's see if we can settle down this lineup today. As you see right there, that curveball hung a little bit. I'm wondering why Nelson Cruz didn't swing at that. He would have driven that out into freaking, College Park. That's how good of a hitter he could be. But you see Walker on the mound here for the Mariners, 2-2 with a 4.15. Hasn't been pitching that well. And he's been giving up a lot of home run balls this year. So, hey, this is the time for the Baltimore Orioles to really get under the skin of this pitcher. So Joey Rickard is going to play again today. He gets on base for a base hit, and he's been playing pretty well lately. Last game you guys saw him, he went over, but he's been really picking it up. He's got his average up to 244 now, and he's gotten better. So, in his speed, obviously, he still needs a little bit of work. He did get a pretty good jump, but that was just a really good throw there by Aoki to get him out at second base. But you see, Jimmy Paredes, get out of town, my friend. That's a home run. And I know some of you guys may be asking, Sin, what's your difficulty? It's dynamic. So, bear with me on this. The game may be a little easy at first, but trust me, it will get harder. The dynamic, if you guys are not familiar with dynamic difficulty, it is the better that you play, the harder the game will be. So, again, it starts you off in a little difficulty setting, but it will get harder. Trust me. I like dynamic due to the simple fact that it plays to my settings, and the game will get more realistic. Or I should say, you should see better games than this, not hitting all these home runs all the time. And, it will get harder. Trust me. So I'm just kind of warming up to the game a little bit, and then the game will soon warm up to me. So I see right there Adam Jones going deep, and that's a back-to-back home run. And AJ, he's been hitting a lot of home runs this year, something I really didn't expect out of, Adam Jones. But, he has done it before, so I'm not all too surprised. I just didn't think he would be having this kind of year where he'd be hitting, that big of a home run. I'm already 65 games into the season, so this is obviously, a little bit further back, but nonetheless, Adam Jones still having a really good year. You see Manny Machado at the plate right here, the 1-1 count, and the pitch is going to be taking in the left for a base hit. So that's a nice little start here to keep the inning alive here, and Walker's just struggling to get out of this first inning. And he hasn't been really hot this year, so we're trying to take advantage of his cold pitching, so to speak. I'm surprised the Mariners haven't sent him down or put him in the bullpen or something like that. But you see Pedro Alvarez going deep right, and that is gone. Another home run for the Orioles here, and it is now 4-0. So, again, Pedro Alvarez having a good year. He's been stepping up. He had a really slow start as well, but he's been picking it up. His play has been better. He's got 8 home runs on the year, and he's been a really good DH. There'd be days where Alvarez is playing first when Chris Davis needs a little bit of a break. I'll switch him around, put Chris Davis at DH, and put Alvarez at first. It's kind of like a nice back and forth system that I can have going on here. And obviously, I don't have Jonathan Scope playing today. Paredes is playing second, and Jonathan Scope, he's been kind of struggling lately. He hasn't really had many good outings lately on the field. So we're trying to get him back in the groove. Maybe a day off would be good for him. Maybe move him down in the lineup, see where he goes. J.J. Hardy's been stepping up as well lately. So I have no idea how it's going to go. I think I may put J.J. Hardy up in the lineup and put Jonathan Scope down. Just to give themselves, I know it sounds like, the further down I put him in the lineup, the worse player they are. But I'm thinking to myself, as J.J. Hardy gets a trip around the bases, if I put him further down in the lineup, maybe pitchers won't take him as seriously, and they'll come right at him, and then they'll increase their batting average, kind of like what the Cubs did with Addison Russell. So that's how I feel about it. So I'm not overall too concerned about Jonathan Scope. We'll see how he does once we get him back in the groove and put him back in the lineup. Obviously, we're trying to make some changes, trying to make everything work out for the future. Jonathan Scope is obviously a big part of our future, but just not this game. He's been kind of struggling. We need him to have a day off. Same with Matt Wieters. Matt Wieters is only batting 213. or something like that. He's been batting really poorly. So we decided to give him a day off and give Caleb Joseph the nod today. And that's the second straight video that you guys see Caleb Joseph getting the nod over Matt Wieters. So something's wrong with Wieters. He's got to get his, batting up. He hasn't been hitting the ball really well. It's either in the 230s or the 210s. I'm not too sure with Wieters, but I know Caleb Joseph's like in that same range, probably like the low 240s. But either way, we've got players that are either hitting the ball really well, or we're having players that are hitting the ball very poorly. And that, I don't know if that's going to create too much inconsistency, and it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. It all depends on who's hot and who's cold. If we have our best player go cold, obviously it's going to be bad. But if we have our best players being hot, then obviously it's going to be a good thing. Manny Machado's gone cold lately. That's not good. You see Chris Davis getting hot. That's good. You see Jonathan Scope getting a little cold. That's obviously not good. But if he gets, if J.J. Hardy gets hot, I mean, it's good. But if Chris Davis goes cold, then that's more bad than good. So, you know what I mean? You got to have the right players get hot at the right times. So, obviously, we need Chris Davis to be as good as he's been all year long. Hitting 300 and getting on base on a 400 percentage, that's obviously, amazing. It blows my mind, You see Adam Jones taking another one gone, and that one is his second home run of the game. So, obviously, what do you guys think about what should I do with this lineup? You guys give me suggestions. Adam Jones is going to be moved further down in the lineup, as you guys suggested. I'm not putting Manny Machado in the leadoff role because he can hit for power, and I'm not putting a power guy first. It's just not how I roll. I like speedy guys there. Paredes could be a guy who could fill that role. I feel like Paredes, he's been playing so well that I feel like he's becoming an everyday player, and that's something that I really like because we don't really have too many everyday players in our outfield. Sure, we have Trumbo, we have Hyung-Soo Kim, we have Paredes. He's also can be an infielder as well, so that's obviously his diversity only makes him that much better. I love Jimmy Paredes, and you guys do too, probably, I'm sure. So that's one thing that I'm really happy for. Somebody who can go not only in the infield but in the outfield. See Chris Davis making the slide to first base to get the out. But honestly, my favorite player on this team to use is Jimmy Paredes. He's so good. He's got a lot of potential on this team. He's got a lot of potential to be one of the, the bright future of the Baltimore Orioles. You see Mark Trumbo hitting another home run. And like I said, bear with me. The dynamic difficulty will go up. And I've taken suggestions from 2BG, Robbie from Two Brothers Gaming. He always suggests this dynamic difficulty. It's obviously, a little bit easy at the start, but bear with me. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit before, this thing moves up to a difficulty that, fits my playing style. The game's basically trying to adjust to me is what it's doing. So you see right here, J.J. Hardy throwing it out right there. He's going to hit the third, and he's going to be throwing out at first. So later on in the seventh inning, Miguel Gonzalez throwing a really good game, and that's a pop-up to Chris Davis, and that's going to be the final out of the inning. And Miguel Gonzalez, he's had a pretty good game. Mariners haven't been hitting the ball all too well. See right here, 2 strikes. And I'm going to try and test Joey Ricker's speed on this one. So you see right here, that one, he could have been out if the throw was on line, but we'll never know. But Ricker does have the speed. I want to try and test out his speed on the bunts and see how that goes, because I know Rickard has some speed, and I want to try and take advantage of it. You see right there, Adam Jones taking a walk after 2 home runs. I mean, yeah, I would kind of try and pitch around him as well. So good move by the Mariners. But, I mean, down by as many runs as they are, it's not really going to affect the outcome, I think. So Chris Davis at the plate, taking this one to deep left. And this one is going to be a double off the wall as Adam Jones is coming around to third, and he is going to be safe. So nice 9-0 lead here for the Orioles. I like the helmets, the black and with the orange bill. That's pretty nice right there. I like those helmets. Manny Machado later on with a full count, and he's going to take this one into deep right, and that one's going to be caught, and I'm going to test the speed of Adam Jones, and it doesn't work out. So I got picked off at the plate, and that's not good. So Dylan Bundy now on the mound again, and we are going to see how long he can last. Like I said, I want to get these guys some experience. These younger younger pitchers out there, get them some experience and get them, better, I should say. Dylan Bundy has been doing really well, so he's been, even for a rookie, he's been pitching, I would say, pretty lights out. But you see right there, the beach ball's on the field. Gutierrez is like, hey, get this out of here. See Pedro Alvarez at the plate once again with a 1-2 count here with nobody out. Still a 9-0 lead. And the pitch is going to be taken into center field, and that one is going to sneak over the wall. No, it's not. That was almost gone, though. I thought it was going to sneak over the wall for sure, but nah, it's all good. Pedro Alvarez gets on base with a double, and later on, we have a runner on third, and we have J.J. Hardy at the plate, I do believe, or is that Caleb Joseph? That's Caleb Joseph. The batting stances are a little bit similar, but why would you throw home in that situation? I'm wondering. I'm wondering why he threw home in that situation. Probably to prevent the run, but I'm pretty sure he would have thrown out Hardy or Caleb Joseph at first. But later on, it's Rickard at the plate, and he breaks his bat, and whoopsie-daisy, that's going to be labeled as an E1. So Rickard gets on base again after, I don't know what happened. But Paredes at the plate with 2 away. Can Paredes come through again? He takes this one to deep right center, and this one is going to be an out. So that is going to end the threat there for the Seattle Mariners. And they will get one more chance here in the 9th inning. See right here, Dylan Bundy gives up a fat beach ball, so to speak. And that one is going to leave the yard as Marte gets his first run of the game here for the Mariners. It's now 10-1 as Bundy doesn't look too happy with it. Like I said, this is kind of like a mop-up role that I want Bundy to do. That's his role, is just to come in a big lead like this and just mop up. So mop up the mess, so to speak. But they do keep on, going on here and try and get hits. They're trying to stay in the game, which is admirable of the Mariners to do. So let's see if they can take advantage and maybe get a few more runs on the board. Later on, there's 2 outs. That one sneaks past Paredes at second, and that's going to be a base hit. So now with 2 on and 2 away, can Bundy get this one to be over? This one's going to pop up to Adam Jones, and that's going to end your ball game. So the Orioles win again. Final score 10-1. Bear with me, guys. I know I said it like 100 times before, but this will get harder. It's dynamic difficulty. So the better I play, the harder it'll get. So we do end up winning this one. And next game will be in just a few short days from now. And hopefully we can, pull out some wins here and try and continue to push for the playoff hunt, because I really want to stay in this wild card and try and prove to the baseball world that the Orioles actually do belong. So Miguel Gonzalez, player of the game, had a 7-inning outing, struck out 10, did really well. And Bundy came in. Yeah, he gave up a run, but it wasn't too much of a factor. It's not going to hurt his ERA too much. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like. And if you're new to this channel at all, hit that subscribe button for more Baltimore Orioles franchise, other franchises and dynasties that I do on this channel. Hey, stick around for more. Until next time, my name is Tim with Vengeance. You guys have been amazing as always. I'm out. Peace.
We're now listening to great music. It's great music.